So I select my box, I go to this manipulation tool right here, and now I can scale it to whatever dimensions I want. And all I was really trying to say is well, let's do a bevel first. So oh, and here's another thing. I can also, if I go here to main and I go to poly modeling, now if I hold down C, I get this menu, right? So if I select this and press C and go to poly bevel, wait, maybe I have to select edges. That could be it. Let's see. So I'm just double clicking. I'm thinking this is the reason why. Let's just see. Select them all, press C, poly bevel. Yep, that's the reason why. I had to select those edges. Then I'll go here and I'll do the little thing. And I'll get them get them round. So let's say I have this and I want to copy these. What I can do is I can take a transform. All right. So I can say this is my first one. And then I can do like Alt left click. So I duplicated it. Oh, but I can't see where the other one is. So I'll just put this template flag on it and I'll move it over. All right. So I have two of these now. And I'll just hold down Alt click and move. So now I have four and I can just take this one now. Well, first what I'll do is I'll put the template flag on all of them. And then for this one, I'll say, all right, I'll move it. And then for this one, I'll say, all right, I'll move it. So that's the same thing as the copy, but it's like 4 nodes, and then you just do a merge, select them all, and then do this. And so now we have 4 pieces. So that's all basically trying to show you that you can do it this way too. And look, and it's all stemming off of this box. So if this one gets edited, they all get edited. But since these transforms are separate, if one of these gets edited or, rotated or something, the other ones can get independently edited. All right. But let's get into what you really want to know is how to take the Maya model in here and not have to model in Houdini. Okay. So I'll type in right click and file. And you all should be able to do this, but if it doesn't work, then it could be something where, like I said, you all have like a free version. I have a different version. So it could be like my version gives me more freedom to do stuff, do certain things, and yours doesn't. But I just have to hear from you all because I don't have that version. So I'll select this file and I'll click on this and I'll go to my desktop. And it was like, what was it? It was a wall, I think. Which one was it? Let's do this one, all right? Yeah, this is like one of you all's models. Don't know which one of you all, but I remember it's one of you all's models. Can't remember. But this came in from Maya. And since this is you know what I'm saying, it's Houdini, so I could put this somewhere. What I'll just do is I'll just delete it. I'll work in this file, and if I press spacebar F, it lets me like zoom in on stuff, so it's far away. Spacebar F, whatever it's like focus. Spacebar H is home, so that gives you everything. Okay, so let's do this also so we can see our UVs. We'll click on this and go to the two ways view, side view. So we have this one and that one. I want this one to be my UV, and I want this one to be my perspective. So I'll do spacebar 1 to make this perspective, and I'll do spacebar 5 to make this my UVs. All right. So, oh, and just so you know how I got to this, what did I do? Well, I just like maximize this and I press P for parameters. So P turns the parameter off and on. Anyway, so here are UVs. These are the UVs that it came with Maya, but I want to do my own UVs. So what I'll do is I'll type in, and also if you right click on the node and type in if you put your mouse over this and you right click on the output of the node and I type in whatever, it'll attach. So ATTDE, something called attribute delete. Now, when things come in from Maya, they come in with names and groups and other things like that. If I don't want to see any of that, I can delete it. So just to let you know, if you want to see the information, you can like right now, I'm just have my mouse over this, but I can middle mouse button click, and it'll give me information, or I can left middle mouse button click on this and it gives me this window. So what all it's saying is that it came with the material, so probably some Arnold material. It came with some UVs, and it came in with a normal. And these are some point attributes. But it came in with these groups right here, right? So it says street, something was named street, something's named wall. There was a sidewalk group, and here are the pieces of the sidewalk group. So what we want to do with this attribute delete, and if you click on this, point attributes mean like position of points, vertex is vertex and some textures, UV, primitives is this, details this, right? So what I'm just going to do is I'm going to type in a star. So this means everything, right? Tab, star, tab, star, tab, star, right? So really, I just want to get rid of the UVs, but I'm getting rid of all the groups. So remember, right here, if I click on this, I have all of this stuff, right? And now if I go to the attribute delete and click on this, what's still there, but the UVs are gone. And that's the most important part. These UVs are gone, right? So now we can start fresh, right? So I'm going to right click and UV, let's do UV quick shade. All right. Let's look at it. These UVs are not looking good. They're stretched. It's a bad situation. So what I can do is, remember, right click on this, UV, let's do project. All right. Orthographic, polar. So we see what these different projection methods are doing. Oops, sorry. It's not really giving us what we want. So let me right click and go to UV flatten. So UV flatten is giving us something interesting. but these are like backwards. So just let me go to UV layout. All right. So now if I go to UV layout, actually give me 1 second. I gotta look at this. Ah, yeah, I was doing it wrong. I mean, I was doing it. Oh, this crashed. All right, I don't know why, but that just crashed. So let me go back. Yeah, that old one just crashed. All right, so I'm just gonna go right here, go geometry, file. I'll find that file, press P. Um, desktop. Where was it? It was let's go to this. All right. Space F. See it? Okay, now this is my old one. We see all the UVs because all this was set up in Maya. Right click. So I just typed in ATTDE. It's up there. Press enter. I have this. Really, I just need to go to vertex attributes and type in the flag. Press enter. And now we have no more UVs. Now I can go right click and go to UV unwrap. Click on this. Now we see this, right? The layout is square. This is what we want. So I need to stretch them. Actually, I don't like this being over here. So spacebar 1 over here, spacebar 5. Okay. So I'll go to UV layout. Click on this now. And we have these. These are rotated, and if they're rotated, I mean it'll still work, but I just don't think it's a good thing that they're rotated. So I'm gonna go to where it says by island symmetry and by island position in 3D. So you notice there's a whole bunch of stuff we're not touching. We're just touching a few things. So this is the one that I want. And then I'm gonna go to, instead of largest packable, it's fixed. And then right here, pack into UDIM tiles. Now we click on this, we'll go to the little ladder and we'll just move it over. Now, what I say to do with this situation is to get the maximum resolution out of this. Since this is the largest piece, we're gonna scale this one up till it can like be as big as it can be in one of these UDIM tiles. It's gonna do, choose it on its own. I'm guessing it'll be the first one. But the thing is if anything goes down here, that means that you scaled way too big and it's not gonna work. So we're scaling up maximum size. As you can see, these little pieces are over here. So I'm scaling up, but as soon as this gets too big for the UV grid, it goes on the bottom. So it's basically being smart and it's letting you know, oh yeah, you did too much. If I take it back now, it's all good. Now here's the thing, because this is the ground, it's really just trying to, if I type in right click, UV quick shape, what it's trying to do is keep everything the same resolution. So it's trying to keep these curves the same resolution as everything else, right? But let's just say we want these to have more resolution and still have the ground have as much resolution as it has right there. Well, all we have to do is this, right? We can do is go back to not here. We can go back to this. Well, actually, I'm gonna do a little experiment right here. If I take this tile right here, press T, so select the whole thing. T, and move this up. Actually, if I type in U tab UV transform. Okay. So I'm gonna do this, right? I'm gonna go back up to this UV unwrap. And so that unwrapped everything. But right now I want to take this one. So I'll select this, my selection tool. I'll double click on this, press T for transform, right? And I'll raise this up. All right. So that one's been raised up, which is here. And I'll go back to this one. Trying to think the best way for this. Okay, let me go over this. I know an even better way. Here's a simple, even easier way to do this. All right, we'll take this, right click, UV unwrap. Or I can just I'll take this. No, this is right. No, actually, this is what I meant to do. Take this, right? And then we can go tab and split. All right. So what this does is because I put it in the selection and I right clicked and I press tab and split, it split those faces out. So if I type in null just to look at this, this one over here, because I split, this is the split one. But if I take it over here and look at this, this is the rest of the geometry. So this right here is actually our floor, right? You don't need this null. I'm just doing it for organization. And this is like wall, curb, and sidewalk, all right? So now what I can do is right click, UV unwrap. And now we see these UVs right here, all right? And I can left click and do the same, left click and alt. And now I have these unwrapped. So this is my floor. And this is now my, the rest of the stuff. So I can click on this and I can do UV layout for this one. Click on this and I'll change those 3 settings again. Remember, well, this one should be fine. Oh, and check this out. Since I can't see, UV quick shade. And you could have a bunch of these. You don't just have to have one. I just sometimes use one to just see everything, just not to keep it uncluttered. Okay, so here's our this is our UV layout for our floor, all right? So what I can do is just select this. Um, yeah, it's fine. If it's not rotated, I don't usually change it. Largest packable, let's go fixed, and then UDIM tiles. So remember, this one, and this one are the usually only ones you'll touch, and then you'll scale this one for the size. Oh, I might have a crash. I think I did something. I think I accidentally pressed it, scaled it too high. Okay. Now it's frozen. I have no idea what happened there. I did something wrong. So I'll just right click, revert and restore to factory defaults. Okay. So click back on this, highlight this, fixed, right click. So maybe this was at 1, I think. Yeah, okay. So it's at 1, and I'm just going to scale it so it gets, now it's filled up the whole UV tile. Oh, this is what it is. I went too far, I guess. So let me just do 0.99 or something. Okay. Okay, perfect. All right, so that's done. Now I go over here to this one, and I go to right click, UV, UV layout. So now if I click on this, we can see that these are rotated, which is what we don't want. So if we click on this, by island position in 3D, so to get rid of that rotation, largest packable to take it to fixed, and then UDIM tiles. So now I'll middle mouse button click and scale these. You see how they're getting, these tiles are getting smaller, which means that it's more resolution. And the more I drag this over, see, those got too big for this. So I'll just scale it up until the point where they get there. Now the same things goes. If I want to have this independent as well, which we might as well do, right? I'll click on this. So all the stuff we did here before, we could keep and it could be fine, and we could just have this. And you could paint on this and it'd be totally fine. But if I wanted even more resolution, well, really, it wouldn't be that much more because these would still be filling up the UV tile. But if I did want any more, all I'd have to do is go back here, select this, and I'd split it again. And splitting is all it is this: putting it in primitive mode, arrow tool, double click, so you get the whole thing. Tab, split, enter, and it puts the split node right here. And I can just shake this off and like put it here or something. And so right now it's just showing the wall. So I'll copy this. Only meant to copy it one time. And like I said, I don't need this. It's just for organization. So that's my wall. And I'll just delete these words right here. So what we have is we have this right here, which is our ground. if I go over here, we have our wall. And we could also just like UV unwrap it. Yeah, that's our wall UV unwrapped. And here's our UV layout for our wall, which is too big. And I'll just scale it down. So right now I'm getting the maximum resolution out of my wall. Too much. Now it's perfect. Going into 2 tiles. So it's not that much different than what it was before, but guess I'm just showing you to show you. So all right, so this is our last split. I'll just copy this, which is this, the curb and the sidewalk. So I'll do the same thing. I'll just copy this unwrap to give us some UVs, and then I could just make another UV layout. So right click, UV layout. And now we have these. So same thing, go over here, island position 3D, fixed, UDIM tiles, and then just scale them on up. So these I could go crazy and scale them to the point where one face is taking up the whole tile, just a single face. But I'm just gonna do it like with 2 faces in one. So instead of having all those UDIM tiles, I'm gonna take it down a little bit until 2 faces. Well, I guess I can't really get 2, but I want it to at least be even. Okay, this will work. So I have 2 faces in every tile. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and then all these sides are here. So that's cool. Now right click and I tell you merge. All right. Now one thing I'm gonna do is I could just delete these and I'll just make another one. So I'll select all these, drag them down, click on this, and we see them all there. We see all the UVs, and they're all on the first row. I'll type in right click, UV quick shade. So now we have the UV quick shade on them, but we just need to do one thing because they're all in the same row. We just need to take them on different rows. So right click, UV transform. And look, all it's doing is moving up. And we can see this right here is, this will move it to one UV tile perfectly. All right. Then I just need to go in here, change this one. So that one said 1. I want to take this one up 2. And that would be like right here. But let's just type in 2 just to make it perfect. Whoa, let's type in 2. All right. So now we have, remember, if we could have all done it in one thing, which would have been fine, but I just wanted a little bit more resolution out of the sidewalk. So that's why I did it like this. But if you just happen to go in Substance Painter, all right, so that's how I just did it to split it up into different resolutions. But if you just wanted to go in, take a UV unwrap, perfectly fine. A UV layout, hey, that's cool. Right click, I mean not a UV layout. No, yeah, UV layout, and then go to, because we see the rotations. By island position in 3D, fixed, and then UDIM tiles. Alt, left click, just to copy this UV quick shade. Now just go to this one, middle mouse button click, and scale up. So we could do it this way, but you see how little the resolution is here. So you could do it this way as well, you know? You might have to go higher on the resolution for the textures and substance, but yeah, this is the way to do it. So you see what I'm saying? And this is what like believe me, I know it's probably a pain now and you're probably like, ah, this is horrible, but trust me, there's so much flexibility in this, and I didn't get it for a while too, but now I can't get enough of it. So I just did the same thing. Well, let's look at the two different results. All right, we have this, we have this. So not that much different, but the scales are different. All right, but you can see more UDIM tiles used, higher resolution. At least in there. This is usually going to be the same, just because it's filling up that space. But yeah, that's how you would UV, and then you would do the same thing to what do you call it? To export it. So out do the out street scene, and then go file. Oh no, wait, we'll do this. You select it because whatever that flag is on matters. And this needs to be highlighted. And I can do or whatever you want to name it. And then you just go to file, export, filmbox FBX, select this, find that geo, and then uncheck this, go to here, and then give it a name, and then click on export, and then send it to Substance.